What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? 392 Blurred Lines coming back at you with another video. First time coming to the channel. Welcome to the channel. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We outside. Garage is back there, so I ain't in the garage. But I may be going in the garage because it looked like it might rain today. And I got to do some work out here on a 2014 Dodge Durango. Not looking forward to this job, but somebody's got to do it. And I'm not going to pay anybody to do something I can do myself. So we're going to take an attempt to do this ourselves. We will be changing a water pump on this 5.7 liter V8 Hemi in the Dodge Durango Citadel. Do I feel like messing with it? No. Do I have to do it? Yes. Thing is making some crazy noise. I took it apart. Well, I took it loose. I took this cover off the other day to find out what was going on down there, why it was making so much racket. And I told my wife, I said, it sounds like a pulley. And we were smelling a little bit of antifreeze. It smelled like maple syrup. And so I knew that it was leaking a little bit of antifreeze, but it would not leave any spots on the ground. So it was leaking enough to where it would get on the engine would then burn it, and that's what we were smelling, which smelled just like maple syrup. So when I changed the oil the other day, I was up under there and I could see where it looked as though antifreeze was down on the bottom of the engine. I said, okay, let me take a few things loose and take a look at it. So I took this cover off here. Well, actually this, I don't know what the name of it is. Intake. I don't know what it is. Y'all see it. I'm not going to look up what the term of it is either, but I just know it's got to come back off. But I took that off and I could go down there and I grabbed hold of that pulley for the water pump, and that thing was so loose and you could see back behind it where it was leaking coolant. So I come to the realization it was definitely a water pump issue. So I picked the water pump up down to Advanced Auto, 171 bucks. So if you got to get one, you can either spend 171 bucks or you can order one online, get a little cheaper. I just didn't want to wait for it to come. So something I need now. I'm not going to wait till something else happens and then I'm on the side of the road with an overheated engine. So I decided to go ahead and get one. I'm out here today. It must be about 50 degrees. It's not the warmest, but it's tolerable. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this thing taken care of. We'll tear this thing down and see if we can't get this water pump changed, and I will show you guys what we got going on. I'll just take a video and just let you see what I'm doing, and you can make the decision on your own whether or not you want to change yours or have somebody else do it. But please don't call me to come do it, because I'm not. I don't even want to do my own. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get your guys mounted up so you can see what we got going on. And we're going to make an attempt at this. Hopefully it don't take no more than 2 hours. I don't want to be out here all day, but I got to get it done. All right. Stick with me, and I'm going to go ahead and get you guys set up so you can see what we got going on. All right. First thing it should do, disconnect the battery terminal. And just taking off the negative on the battery terminal, that should be sufficient, but it is behind the passenger side. So we're gonna take the passenger seat all the way forward, and then we're gonna go back behind the seat in the floor area. I do believe that's where the battery's at on this thing. And we're just gonna disconnect the negative terminal just so that there's no connection to the battery. This is water pump. Water pump. Be sure to get you some antifreeze because you're gonna need it. And for these Dodge Durangos, I know it says GM vehicles, but that's what's recommended. Why? I don't know. They do have a Mopar antifreeze, but I didn't see Mopar antifreeze at Advanced Auto. So the next thing, Preston, GM vehicles. So be sure to get your antifreeze because you're gonna need it. And that is just a little 1/2-inch bolt. Just take that little bolt off. That's all there's to it. And just take the negative terminal off. And we're gonna go from there, but we just want to get the juice eliminated. We don't want no problems because we will be unplugging some plugs under the engine compartment. So you definitely want to take off the terminal so you ain't got to worry about short circuiting nothing, because we don't want no issues. All right, next what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up under here. We're gonna take off this cover. It just has a couple of grommets, like approximately about 4 grommets on the bottom. Just take those, just pull it right off, it'll come right off. And just gonna give us more access to this area, open up so we can see something. Next thing, get you up here so you can see what we got going on here. I'm gonna put you right down in the mix. I'll get you down here in the mix of things so you can see what we got going on. All right, get this up here so we can have access to some tooling. And you gotta run around looking for nothing. It's right here. All right. I believe that's a 5/16. It is a 5/16. I want to take that small bolt out along with loosening up those clamps. Got one here, got one here. And you also have a small plug back here. I want to take something. I'm going to take a little screwdriver and push this little plug here, this little clip, so that I can unplug it. And it's just a little plug becomes loose. And that should allow me to remove this out of the way. And that's what the little plug was hooked to right here. All right, that gets, would you look at the filth? You know, I'm gonna settle this. I'm gonna fix this right now before I even get started. Be sure to get you some latex gloves. Get something, unless you want to be cleaning this up, because you're gonna get some of this if you don't put some on your hands. I'm gonna get some gloves because I'm not going through this. Actually, I'm gonna use these little cotton gloves. Latex gloves, get all sweat, hands get all sweaty. It all depends on what you're working on as determine what kind of glove you want to wear. I'm gonna wear these. It ain't the warmest out here either, so it's all good. All right, we have another plug up here, and that just looks like a matter of pushing a clip. There we go. Just had to fiddle with it a little bit. Okay. All right, I don't know if you just saw what I just took loose, but I want you to see exactly what we got going on here. All right, what I just took loose here was this. I believe that's for the temperature, water temperature. I believe that's what that's for. I'm not exactly sure. I just know what to unplug and I know what to take loose. I'm just gonna I just took the plug out, just got it out of the way, along with the other plug. Get them out of the way. Now, you know where I'm ahead of myself to an extent. I need to drain some of this coolant. I need to drain some of this coolant. So we're gonna see if we can't catch this coolant, and we're gonna keep it moving. Now we're gonna take off the thermostat housing hose, radiator hose. This clip here, they said you may want to move that out of the way, so we're gonna see if we can get that out of the way as well. Y'all seen that. We're gonna have to go in there and get that out. Wow, I got a magnet that'll go down there and grab it. Just made more work for myself. Never fails. Never fails. Let's see how much cooler comes flying up out of here. I'll take this off. Gonna turn this, get him out of the way, completely out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and take this serpentine belt off, get the, show my diagrams here, so I know how to put it back on. All right, where's the diagram? No diagram under here? Well, that's okay, we'll draw it. We'll draw it. Now we're gonna take the tension off of this belt, and you can use a ratchet to do so. There is a place in the tensioner to place your 3/8 ratchet. Yep, that's it. Just like so. There are a couple items on this water pump that are not there, but they're on the old one, so you gotta take them off the old water pump, put them on. One of them is going to be pulley down here, it's going to go here, and then you got your tensioner pulley, it's going to go here. So those two items you definitely want to take off while it's still on the motor so that you can take them loose. So we're going to take those loose, and as we remove our bolts from the water pump, as we remove it, we're going to put them back in the same hose on this. You're just going to sit them in it, so that we don't get them mixed up as to what bolt goes where. But the issue is, this is the problem. That's what the problem was. That's the water pump pulley. That is definitely junk as compared to this one, nice and sturdy, firm, make no noise. So that's what the problem was. A lot of noise. I should have started up. Let you guys hear how noisy it really is. So we're going to take off those two pulleys first thing. Like one bolt looks like a 9/16. Could be half inch, but I could be mistaken. And it's half inch. Not very tight at all either. I'll sit that there. This other one is definitely bigger. That may be a 9/16 there. Oh, that's even bigger than that. 5/8. No, ain't no 5/8. Yeah, it is a 5/8. Don't let these newer cars sway you in any manner to say, I gotta take it to the dealership. Some of these newer cars you can do yourself. Handy item for dropping tools. Get you a magnetic telescopic tool. reach down there to get that stuff. It'll keep you off the ground. It'll definitely keep you off the ground. Especially if you drop wrenches like I do. As you see, I just threw that bolt down in there. So, telescopic, magnetic tool, perfect for the person who likes to drop wrenches. Well, I don't really like dropping them. It just so happens that I do drop them at times. Okay, now remove our tensioner pulley. And sometimes these go bad, but this one is still fairly good condition because there's a lot of tension on it still. We'll put him up there. Okay, now we're going to take off the bottom radiator hose, and that's got one of them clamps on it where you have to use a set of pliers. Them are the worst clamps ever. Anybody work on cars, you know what clamps I'm talking about. These are the worst clamps ever. If they don't have a bolt to tighten them up, these are the worst clamps. I hate these clamps. What most people use on these clamps are a pair of channel locks. Oh, I hate these clamps. But it is what it is. That's what Mopar put on them. That's my choice. I wouldn't have. There we go. Get them out of the way. All right. A little something in between that hose to break them loose. Yeah, he's full of coolant. I gotta put something else down here because this thing is full of coolant. I need to find out where this drain plug is. Is that it? Of course not. Let me see if I can find out where this drain plug is, because there's an awful lot of coolant still in this thing. I know that. Let's go back up Looks like I need to remove that plastic cover on the bottom to get to the drain plug. So, let's do that. Another swig of this coffee before I get back down here. That's good stuff. Okay, 3/8. All right, been a minute. Had to go down to the bottom, take that cover off. Had to take this cover off to get access to the drain plug on the radiator. Got to get that coolant out of there. There's too much coolant still in this block. Well, too much coolant in here for me to just let pour out like that. So I got it down there. I'm catching it. Actually, I'm going to recycle this. I'm going to keep it. Use it, but I had to take that cover off so I can get down there to take the drain plug out. Took a little while, so I'm gonna let you guys know ahead of time. Be sure to take that plastic cover off. Ain't no shortcuts. You got to take it off to get to the drain plug. But now that she's draining, we're gonna let her drain, and we're gonna take a sip of this. And that's still as good as the first sip. But I guess while that's draining, I can see if I can get that bolt out of there that fell down in there. Don't know how long it's going to take to drain all this out, but looks like it's going to try to take a little while. Let's see if we can get this out of here. Don't know exactly where it's at. I feel something, I heard something. Look at there, that quick. That quick. I don't know not to put nothing else up there. that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and start taking these bolts loose so I can be that much further in the game. I'm also I'm gonna go ahead and take this bolt, this hose here loose. And that looks like a 3/8. So we know where he's at. Take a screwdriver, lightly. I'll just pry this up. There she comes. Come on out of there. There we go. And it looks like it does have an O-ring that is on it. So be careful when you're taking that loose. You don't want to destroy that O-ring, because that is what's going to seal that when you put it back down inside of there. Okay. Now let's continue the removal process of these bolts. That was ½ inch. That one's in a bad spot. This is going to have to be removed because you can't get the water pump off with this in the way. This is what that cover sits on actually. So we'll remove this. But that might be a this as well. Actually, it looks like, so just swing it out of the way like so. You gotta remove it completely, just swing it out of the way. Let me see if I can tighten it back down, tighten it up there out of the way. Just like so. Okay. Looking over at the other one on the ground there to see exactly where the other bolts are. Just really can't see. Right there. That's number 6. And number 8. Now, sounds like we're done draining, which it is. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead, tighten up that valve to close it, and see if we can't go ahead and get this bottom radiator hose off, and then we'll start removing the bolts out of the water pump and remove the water pump. All right. Let's take this water hose off. Loose. Not too much. Shouldn't too much come out of this. None at all. Okay. Water hose out of the way. Now let's start removing these bolts. As I specified, putting them back in the correct places of where they came out of. So, take that one right there. I need to remove gloves for this action. Right there. Okay, right along here. Somebody got some very long bolts. They go through that timing cover. And looks like this is the last one right here. Okay, looks like we're ready to pull this off of here. And when we do take it off, we will then take these bolts and put them right back in this old water pump so that we can get this mounted and located. Okay, knowing that these normally need a little bit of encouragement, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put little lengthy screwdriver on them. Some may want to use a pry bar. I got a pry bar in there, but I also got a screwdriver out here. So why go in there when I got this? So we're gonna see if we can find a location where we can pry on this thing without, I have like a spot right there. Okay. Looks like it might be a spot right here. She's on it. Double check. Got all the bolts out. All the bolts are out. Looks like we're just gonna have to finesse it. I will get a pry bar. Pry bar, tie right in. Same difference. Quit playing with me. Either one's gonna work, gonna do the job. We're gonna stick them right here. We just gonna tickle it. I see a little coolant coming out, so we gonna make sure we got that spot covered up so that container does catch the remaining of the nasty. Perfect. All right, let's go at it again. Don't want to ruin this mating surface, this water pump, and this timing cover housing. Sure nothing is binding up as you're taking it loose. This is where all the noise was coming from. The shot. Seen better days. Seen better days. Okay. As you can see, I done took them gloves off. I like to work on things without gloves. If I gotta wear them, I wear them, but if I don't, I won't. Okay. Okay, let's show you guys what we got going on here. This is what this is looking like down inside here. After the removal of that water pump, we're gonna clean this mating surface off very good before we go to putting on the new water pump. I'll clean it up very well. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this out of the way. Just spinning it out of the way is not good enough for me. I want it out of the way. Okay. So this is what the front end of your 5.7 looks like when you take the water pump off. And we're gonna see if we can get down in here, clean it up real good, and then we'll start the process of putting it back together. So stick with me and we'll be back after a little while. Peace out. All right, we got it all cleaned up on the front end. And right now, take your little, as you get ready to apply this, before you put your gasket on, apply you a little bit of petroleum jelly in that channel for your seal. You know, you don't have to pack it in, but just apply it generously around the entire locating surface for that seal itself. That seal is going to sit down inside of that channel. Just regular Vaseline petroleum jelly, it'll work just fine. You, I guess is what I'm talking about. Don't have to pack it in, just sporadically around it. And we're going to take a rubber seal and we're going to sit that down inside that channel. And just work it down inside. So the petroleum jelly, so it would slide down inside there a lot easier. In fact, I want to make sure it's seated all the way down inside of there. We definitely do not want any leaks whatsoever. All right. All right. Now we will attempt to put it back in its place using, I'm going to use one of the top bolts to hold it in place. Number one bolt up top. This tube out of your way so you can get it back up under it. Be careful with your rubber gasket seal. You don't want to ruin that in any way, before you can get it started. Put this in here. It's in place. Now we'll just continue to go around it, putting our bolts in, and we'll keep it moving. Next one here. As you can see, I'm just putting the bolts in place. I'm not tightening anything down. Just putting them into place. There he goes. That's all right. There he goes. And the other one. It'll save you every time, people. It'll save you every time from having to get down on that ground no more than you have to. Some may not clean the bolts off before putting them back in, but that's just something I do. I just don't like filth, and I may have to mess with this again. And that'll be one bolt that's clean if I got to mess with it again. Seems to be a little busy today. Why ain't these folk at work? You might be asking, why ain't I at work? I am at work. I'm working on this car. I gotta get this car up and running. So if I want to take a day off to get these vehicles up and running, that's what Favor does. Favor allows you to take off a day so you can get your vehicles fixed so you can get back and forth to work. So I'm not just jerking a day off, I'm getting some work done. Do I want to be out here doing it? No. Would I rather be at work? Yes. I'd rather be at work than bent over one of these hoods, one of these fenders or grills. So don't get it twisted. Oh my goodness. Oh. But Lord willing, we'll be in there tomorrow. And one more. To the tightening of these, we're going to tighten them up. Not in any specific sequence, but we're going to stagger the tightening of them. We're not going to just go around it, we're going to stagger the tightening. First, I may start here. And I may jump down here. Over here down in the basement. Just stagger around. After you get them all snugged down a little bit, then we're going to torque them down to the specs that they should be torqued at. And make sure that pulley spins freely, lining up, so it's spinning freely. Get that one there. Still action on him. Okay. Now I need to get my torque wrench. And we'll take a look and see what these are supposed to be spec'd at. So let me get that information and then we'll go from there. Okay, looks like our water pump bolts are going to be tightened or torqued down 28 to 30 foot-pounds. So, and that's what we're going to start them out at, 20. Once again, we're staggering them. Okay, that's 20. Got a Aaron furniture truck going back there to that trailer. Got a trailer back there. Mess around, be stuck back there and all that mud. I won't be back there helping them push out. I wouldn't have drove back there. All that. All at 20. It says 28 to 30. I'm gonna go to 25. Because I don't want to break a bolt off. That'd be terrible. I'm going to 25. 25 it is. I'd hate to break a bolt off. Man, it seems like it's... Man, I'm scared. I'm scared. Let me feel that with my hand again. See what that feels like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He good for 25. He good for 25. Yep. He good for 25. Okay. Y'all know what? I really think I'm gonna stop at 25. I know it says 28 to 30, but I really don't want to break one of these off. So I'm gonna stop at 25. Y'all want to go to 28? Y'all want to go to 30? I'll go right on the head. I don't think 3 pounds more or less is going to affect it in any way, shape, or form. Now, it'd be totally different if I'm torquing on this hot rod. Totally different. But this, all this aluminum, I'm not messing with it. I'm not messing with it. This is the last of the 25. Just give me a clip, baby. Just give me a clip. There it is. I'm done. I'm done with them. I'm done. All right, we're gonna put this back in its place if we can. I'm gonna get my little rubber mallet, tap on that. There's a small shoulder on this. That's what I'm going to use to push that back down in there. And she is seated. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and put on our tensioner pulley. Get him in his proper location. Which was right here. Don't want to forget that. Let's put that bolt back in there. Why didn't y'all tell me? Y'all was gonna let me miss that, wasn't you? Let's get him in there. That was a 3/8. Get him back in place. He's in place. Pulley. Belt tensioner, 35 pounds. Belt tensioner, 35 pounds. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna start out at 20. I'll start out at 20. Let's turn it up to 25. Let's go to 30. And it said how much? 35. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. Hey. That went to 35 pretty easy. That's a bigger boat. I'm sticking with 25. I know what you guys are saying. You guys are saying, go ahead, try, go ahead, try. That's because y'all want me to mess up. I'm leaving it at 25. I'm staying at 25. Y'all ain't gonna get me today. Woo, wait. All right. We gotta go with this one here. Island pulley. Yes, sir. Not gonna get me today. Talking about, yeah, go ahead, try it. Not today, people. Not today, good people. Ooh-wee. Yes, indeedy. All right. he goes here. Specifies the idler pulley at 32 pounds. That looks like a ½ inch. Start them out 20. Start them out 20. How much? 32. 25. 26. 7. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. I'll stick right there. 32. All right. Oh no. Oh no. Is he stuck? If he ain't, he will be. Because he's just making a trench out there. Oh, don't stop. Keep going when you could go. Oh, do y'all want to see this action? Oh, he might be out. He might be out. Let's see what happens here. He keeps stopping. Once he gets going, he gotta keep going. Oh, I gotta let y'all see what's going on. Is he gonna make it this time? Oh no. Let's see if he makes it. Oh, I think he made it. Man, he was all the way back. He was all the way back there in that trailer. He made it. Good for him. Good for him. All right, back to where we left off. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We're trying to get something done out here. Okay, I think you're going. You go, brother. You go. Okay, let me get back to work here. All right, where I left off. Let me go ahead and put on my bottom radiator hose. He's on there. Now let me get this worthless clamp on here. Clamps are loaded. There you go. There you go. I got it. Let me twist it a little bit just to make sure I got it. Right there. Now he's in the same spot that he was when I started. I'm satisfied with that location. Okay. While I'm here, I guess I'll go ahead and put on the Serpentine Belt. Get that on in its location. It's pretty much to the shape where he's supposed to be, which is a good thing. Okay, I'll just put on the open here. Just straight. This. Let's got to put our thermostat in so we can tighten up our thermostat housing. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and take the old thermostat out, put it in there. And, you know, if there's ever a problem with the thermostat, it's something that's real simple and 2 bolts to change it. I should put a new one in it, but there wasn't nothing wrong with the old one, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Y'all remember that? Let's see what we got here. Now, upon the removal of this thermostat, there is a seal here. Now, if we ruin that seal, I'm gonna need a new seal. So if I go get a new seal, I might as well get a new thermostat. So if we can get that seal out of there without ruining it, we're gonna be in business. So let's see what we got. Let's just see what we got here. Let's see if we can get him out without destroying him. All right. Priced one of these seals yesterday because I went to get a gasket. And the gasket they was trying to get me was this round gasket. I said, that ain't the one I want. He said, well, that one goes in there as well, along with the housing gasket. So that gasket by itself, that little round gasket, $8. I'm gonna try not to ruin it. Because I really don't want to drive 15 miles to spend $8 for a gasket. Well, I probably should have went ahead and bought it, but they didn't have it in. It wasn't in stock yesterday, no way. He said it wouldn't be there for today. So I'm just gonna go around this with this screwdriver and hope for the best. Try not to put no pressure on it. Just kind of let it do its thing. If it's gonna come out, it's gonna come out. If not, it won't. I don't even know how it goes. I don't even know. I'm wondering, does that gasket go around thermostat? That's what I'm thinking that it does. I'm thinking that gasket goes around that thermostat. I don't know. I've never taken one out. So if it goes around that thermostat, it's not a gasket that's sitting up on top. The thermostat is between it. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go around it. See what happens. I said I'm gonna try not to destroy it. If I can get it out without destroying it, I'm gonna be happy with that. See, right now I'm just kind of going down along this right here, and then doing so, cleaning out that filth. I already went around this part. That's what makes me think that gasket is in between it. I don't know. Let's find out. We're gonna find out together. I think what I'm gonna do, go around it a couple times, and then I'm gonna see if I can pry up on that thermostat. So I feel like we got a good break. Okay. Bring my long screwdriver. That's exactly what it is. It's between that gasket. It's between it. So that gasket is sitting down inside there. So I got to go down in between that gasket and that housing to get that gasket out. That's what it is. That's how that works. That's how that action works. See, I learn as I go. That's all I can do, because not unless I go in there and turn on YouTube and see how somebody else did it. But now that's going to take some time out of my busy schedule. Like I got anything to do today. I'm doing what I'm doing today. When I get done with this is a wrap. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not going to do anything else that I don't have to do. Okay. I was able to get that out without destroying it. Save that $8. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Okay. So this is going to go around this thermostat before going back down inside that housing. Seeing that there wasn't any kind of a sealant down inside there that held that in, what I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the gasket on the inside. I'm gonna take a little bit of that petroleum jelly. I'm gonna go down inside there with that as well to help this slide in place. First, we're gonna see if we can get it back around this thermostat from whence it came. That's what it does. It just goes right down in between that rubber seal. That's what it does. I learn something new every day. Just like so. Just like so. Wipe them off. That's just how it goes, just like that. And we're going to take a little bit of that petroleum jelly. Actually, I'm going to take that petroleum jelly. I'm going to go around the outside of that seal. And we're going to put it down in there. She come out. Temperature on it, 203 degrees. Actually, I'm gonna write that number down just in case I need a thermostat. I don't know what it takes. Of course, it might be up here. Nope, but I'll put it up there. 9, 8. All right. He's in there. thermostat housing gasket. And I think what I'm gonna do on this, just gonna, you know what? This never even had a housing gasket on it. Wow, really? You know why? Because that's the seal right there. But why wouldn't it, why did they say that you got one? This doesn't have to have one. That's what that rubber seal does. That's the gasket. Doesn't even have one on it. That is where it seals. Watch that go back to AutoZone. I don't need that. I don't need that gasket. And as a matter of fact, I had said something to that guy at AutoZone about that, because it specifies for a 2005 to 2007. This is 2014. He said, oh, it's the same engine. I was like, okay, well, if I need it, I need it. And I don't even need it. Watch me take that back and get that money. I'm going to get that money. I'm going to get my money back. So we're going to wipe this off so we got a good mating surface. Yes, indeedy. Want a good mating surface. I should have known better. But you think them people know what they talking about when you go to these auto stores. Man, they don't know what they talking about. They just going off what that computer tells them. That computer should have kicked up and said, oh, it don't get one for that model, for that year. Instead, that takes that gasket right there instead of the housing gasket. Because it definitely don't get no housing gasket. Not at all. All right. Thermostat 12 to 15 pounds. 12 to 15 pounds. All right. That must be 10. You know what? Actually, I can just do this with my hand. 12. 13. 14. 15. Let's just go 16. Just for good measure. Here. that is right there. That's what that's for. That cover. All right. Everything is in place. Not forget anything. Good. So we'll put our cover back on. Get him put back in place. Back down in here. That's not as good as it was when I first started. I got cold. I'm gonna have to plug the battery back in so I can open up the trunk, because I need to get back in the trunk to get the other container of antifreeze. Don't want to forget to plug this plug back in. Forgot to plug it in the other day, and the engine light come on when Ashley was driving. She's like, "Why is my engine light on?" I said, "Oh, I remember what I didn't plug in." And that's what it was. So, all right, actually, I'm pretty much done with all these tools. I'm getting all this stuff out of the way. Screwdrivers, that, all this stuff, gotta go. Okay. Get this antifreeze. Don't call the radiator full, but we know that it's going to need some more in the overflow, because it's not even registering in the overflow yet. There's nothing in it. So we're going to top him off where he's supposed to be when it's cold. That's at the full mark. And it'll probably need some more after I get it started up and it begins to circulate through the engine. As for now, we're gonna get stuff out of here. And I'm going to crank it up, make sure there are no leaks, anything of that nature. She's nice and quiet once again. Nice and quiet once again. So, we're gonna call that a wrap. I believe that was a success. Took a little longer than I thought it would, but it's done. Oh, thanks And glory be to God, because he gave me the ability to be able to do this. I ain't had to pay nobody to go do it. So, first time coming to the channel, I'd like to say welcome to the channel. And we're going to try to continue to bring informative videos. No junk. They're all going to be bangers. We're going to continue to bring these videos to you guys as long as I'm able. And we're going to just keep it moving. And with all that being said and done, we're going to shut this video off right here. 392 blurred lines coming at you. Peace out.